Welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a podcast where I explore the common and uncommon interests of Black people in order to help us feel seen. Please rate us and write us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. 5 stars only because we are 5-star bitches. Word to Yo Gotti. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, and all of the things. I'm your host, Sequoia, and before I introduce today's guest, who you're looking at if you're watching on YouTube, I have an announcement to make. We're currently recording from the studios of Maximum Fun. Black People Love Paramore has officially joined the Max Fun family. I'm so fucking excited, y'all. Y'all don't even understand how excited I am. I chatted with a couple different networks, and Max Fun definitely seemed like the best fit, where I could bring you the show the way that y'all like it, the way that I like it. Doesn't change anything for you, the listener, but just wanted to clue y'all in. This is a big deal for me. I'm very excited. And we got a budget now, baby. Okay? So it's about to get real. Things are about to get really real out here. Now, business as usual, today, joining me to talk about daytime talk shows, we have award-winning journalist, media personality, and writer at the intersection of gender, politics, race, and pop culture. Her list of accolades and accomplishments is too long to count, but she's been featured on BET, Essence, Variety, you name it. You may have heard her voice on Max Fun's Fanti or We See Each Other, the podcast. Please help welcome Shar Jossell.
Hello.
Shar, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining me.
I am thrilled. Okay. Thank you for being here. I loved our pre-show. We had a little pre-show before this where we just were talking a whole bunch of stuff. So thank you. This is great.
We had lots of thoughts. If this one goes long, please just know we was ready. We came in hot today.
We did.
Okay. I'm super excited to have you.
Yeah.
Before we jump into talking about daytime talk shows, we have our segment called In My Defense. In My Defense is a segment where we bring one of our unpopular opinions and defend it for the listeners. Shar, I'm so excited to hear what you brought because I just know it's going to be good.
So wait, my unpopular opinion, I then have to defend it?
No, you just tell me, and if I like it, there is no defense, because
Okay.
who gonna say something?
All right now, Sequoia. So my unpopular opinion, I really thought about this because I have quite a few. Okay. I have quite a few. My unpopular opinion, and this is no indictment on this artist because I do enjoy her.
Oh, I love this.
I do enjoy her. I think that she's cute as a button. She's new to the scene. Yada, yada, yada. I hate that damn water song.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair.
With a burning passion.
That's fair.
I have never liked it. Shout out to Tyla if she's watching this. I think she's South African. They say colored down there. I've seen
I just found that out on TikTok.
Yeah, the diaspora wars are really clicking up with that one. But that song just reminds me of, I'm a church girl. And so it reminds me of Second Sunday, Youth Sunday, with the Sunshine Band.
Okay.
I was part of the intermediate choir,
Okay.
the Inspirational Voices.
Come on,
we
intermediate.
we were very Sister Act 2 in
Level
my
2.
age group.
Okay.
But the Sunshine Band, I could just make me sweat. It just sounds, it's like nails on a chalkboard to
I
me,
get
so I
it.
can't stand it.
Yeah, I can hear that. When you put me in that state of mind, I'm like, I see how you could arrive there.
Uh-huh. And I'm also not big on Afro beats,
Okay.
which some people take an offense to. I can do a song or two, but don't give me, that's also my critique on everyday people. I don't need 6 to 8 hours of Afro beats.
You are so me right now. I swore off everyday people after this last one because, first of all, I'm from here. Okay. I'm from here. I feel like when you have a traveling party,
Yes.
you should hire DJs that play music that is local. Or, I want to hear the Dog Pound. I want to hear Corrupt. I want to hear Snoop. I want to hear all of that type of stuff. But instead, I'm only hearing Afrobeat.
Because it does well in New York.
You know?
Because New York is a melting pot of different
Afrobeats
cultures.
is more
Yes.
there, you know?
Yes.
But even when they go down to, like, the South, I've seen the DJs that they have, and they have DJs that are spinning Southern records, and that pisses me off legitimately. I'm like, no, and I used to really enjoy Everyday People back in the day. When I lived in D.C., I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was having a good time. I feel a way about that now, though. I'm having some...
I like that we see each other.
Yeah, we see each other. Call back. But, yeah, no, that was a good one.
Thank you.
There's no defending necessary.
No, thank you.
As y'all know, I don't do In My Defense anymore. I've told y'all all of my hot takes. Anything I'm willing to say in public, y'all have gotten it all. I'm not saying anything else to y'all. So, moving on. We have our main topic.
Okay.
Daytime talk shows.
Ooh.
I used to love a daytime talk show when I was a kid. And I should have been at school, but I loved a daytime talk show. Did you watch it as a child?
Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
And when I was a child, I'm a late 80s baby, but I was raised in the 90s. When I was a child, there were two people that ruled Chicago, and that was Michael Jordan and Oprah Winfrey. Okay. I grew up watching Oprah. I grew up imitating Oprah.
Yes.
Speaking of skipping school, my junior year of high school, second semester, I had 23 absences in my first 2 periods.
Stop it.
Yes, because it was PE and then algebra.
Oh, wow.
And then but I would also imitate my mom. It's a long story. I would call up to that office and imitate my mom. They wouldn't question anything.
Stop it.
But I say that to say, in Chicago, Oprah aired at 9 a.m. and she aired at 4 p.m. everywhere else. So I would watch Oprah. I would watch Good Morning America with Charlie Gibson and Diane Sawyer.
Okay.
Then I'd watch The Oprah Show. And then I'd watch The View. And then I'd go to school.
And then you go to school.
Yes. I had 23 absences, or 22, in those first 2 periods.
That's wild.
So, yes, I grew up in talk show culture. Jerry Springer, Maury,
Yeah.
Mother Love, Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse, all of them.
Mother Love. Now, hold on. You talking about stuff I don't even know about at this point.
Oh, it was
We getting into
Forgive or
stuff.
Forget.
I must have
Yeah,
forgot.
okay, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't quite know what we're referencing. Okay, I forgot. We need to take a break. When we come right back, we'll get into daytime talk show more.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the history of daytime TV just a little bit before we really dive into what we're going to dive into.
Okay.
Straight from Wikipedia per usual, the majority of daytime programming is typically targeted towards women and in particular housewives. Historically, soap operas, talk shows, court shows, and game shows have been fixtures of daytime programming, although daytime soap operas have been seeing a decline in North America due to changing audiences and viewing habits. This type of daytime programming is typically aired on weekdays. I hear that you have a killer Wendy impression and a killer. Okay, come on. And Whoopi too. You got that one too.
So, okay, if I can share a very brief story.
Oh, please.
So,
Doesn't have to be brief either. You got it.
it was March of this year, and I was flying to New York. I have 2 sisters that live in New York, and one of my sisters is a performer. She works in musical theater. I was flying to New York to see one of her solo shows. It was a debut, I believe, at 54 Below. And when I was in my terminal, I remember Delta had pissed me off in LAX. When I tell you they had delayed the flight and then they had me walking from one end of LAX to the other, and it was ridiculous. But when I was there, I ran into DJ Lena Bradford, who actually Trayvell and I interviewed on We See Each Other. Okay. But I ran into DJ Lena Bradford, and I know her because we did a BuzzFeed video together in 2017.
Okay.
Okay, so just wait. This is all going to connect,
Okay.
So she sits next to me, and I'm like, Lena, girl, you know.
Yeah.
So we get to chatting, and so I tell her that I'm going to New York, and I have tickets set up. I was going to Tamron Hall with my mom and her husband, and I was going to The View with my dad and his wife, because my dad is a very atypical manly man, macho man, but he watches The View.
I love it.
He doesn't want anyone to know.
I love that.
So I was telling her this story, and she was like, oh, I happen to know Whoopi and Sarah. I'll tell them that you're coming by the show. Because I know Derek, who does hair and makeup back there.
Uh-huh.
She's like, I'll tell them that you're coming to the show.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And mind you, I love Lena, but in the name, I've been in Hollywood for a decade. So I'm like, okay, girl, this is on a Sunday. I'm going to the show on a Wednesday. Like, okay, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, I go to the show on Wednesday, and I should mention I've been to The View 6 times by now. But I go to the show.
A real viewer.
I love daytime talk.
Uh-huh.
But I go to the show, and the show's going on, per usual. And then after the second block, after B block, Whoopi throws to commercial, and she turns to the audience and says, I'm looking for Shar. Where's Shar?
Stop it.
I kid you not. I kid you. That was my reaction. That was my reaction.
I'd be shook.
Oh, I was. She knows my name. Lena did it. Lena pulled through. She texted.
She really did
She
it.
remembered the day. And Whoopi turned and was looking for me. And I raised my hand. I was like, I'm Shar. And I remember the whole audience kind of like, well, who is this bitch?
What's going on?
And she gave me the loveliest shout out and told me that Lena let her know. And then Sarah Haynes was blowing me kisses. Sonny, everybody was great. And I'm like, little do you all know, all it's going to take is for one of you to get a little tickle in your throat and get a little under the weather. And I'm coming for your chair.
I'm done.
I'm
done.
But I'm a fan of the show. And so that is something that I started to forget about when I was doing my year-end roundup in the name of it being the end of the year. And I was like, you know what? I had that moment with an icon, legend, and moment. Whoopi the Goldberg knows my name and shouted me out.
That is an iconic moment.
Yeah.
That's something I'm adding to my resume personally. If I'm you, definitely putting.
Well, they said if it wasn't COVID protocols, Whoopi, like if this were 2018, Whoopi would have probably pulled me backstage. But it's a different world now.
Too much.
Oh, but
Not
yeah.
COVID ruining lives for
Listen.
like in multiple different angles.
Oh yes. But
That's
I
crazy.
still had that moment, so that was fun.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
actually super cool. Great
you.
story.
Thank you.
Okay. The Titans.
Oh, yes.
In the talk show space.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with like the individual talk shows, and then
Okay.
we'll get into the more ensemble panel cast.
Okay.
Now, you named some people who I had not heard of before.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mother Love was the only one. You know Montel.
I know Montel.
And you know the men. There was only like 3 men. It was like Montel.
Donahue, Montel. And
Well, Donahue was beforehand.
Long.
He was before
Yeah.
Oprah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donahue, I'd say Donahue, Montel, Jerry, and Maury.
Jerry Morey for sure.
Yeah.
I have them listed under the smut.
They were
And,
still daytime talk.
Definitely. They were
still
definitely daytime talk, but I do have them listed in a different category.
Amen
down
to that.
here,
Amen.
because I have thoughts and feelings. But certainly the Montels, the Ricky Lakes.
Mhm.
Ricky doesn't get her due diligence, I feel.
She doesn't.
Personally.
And she was like 23 with that show, with the nationally
Was
syndicated
she?
show. Yes.
Oh my God. And it ran for like a good amount of time,
Yeah. It was like 8 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was years. Really liked Ricky. As I was researching for the show, it kept like listing the top 15 daytime talk shows of all time, whatever. And Ricky was never on the list.
Really?
And it was pissing me off. Yeah, it was starting to piss me off because I was like, okay, I thoroughly remember Ricky Lake. She was a
too.
staple of my childhood. She was definitely always on the damn television.
Me
So I don't
too.
understand why y'all playing with her name like that. I didn't like it.
Just like Jenny Jones. Was she on the list?
I didn't see Jenny Jones anymore.
What? Her show is iconic as well.
I didn't see it.
I mean, it was unfortunate the way it was canceled, but
I know.
it was iconic.
Yeah.
And then we even had the fringe talk shows. I remember Queen Latifah had one, RuPaul had one, Tempest Bledsoe from the Cosbys had one, Ananda Lewis had one.
I don't know.
There was, you know Ananda though, right? The
I don't
MTV
think
VJ. She was the only black woman that was on MTV when we were growing up. Spring Bling. Think about it. If you Google her, you'll know her.
Spring Bling.
You'll know her. But
Okay.
she had even a little stint. So yeah, I know about the fringe ones too. I was giving everyone a chance.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I have a list of the Titans here. I'm going to
Okay,
name them,
okay.
and you can tell me if you could only keep 2 of them.
Oh God!
you
Why are
keep?
you doing this to me?
Okay?
Okay.
We got to make it hard. We got to make it fun.
Okay.
Wendy. Oprah. Dr. Phil. Do we consider Dr. Phil a Titan?
I do not, but my childhood best friend, loved her some Dr. Phil when we were growing
I
up.
watch that shit every day. I sure did. Ellen. Montel. Ricky Lake.
And I can only pick 2.
You only got 2.
Well, Oprah Gail Winfrey is definitely going to be number 1. Live Your
given.
Best Life TV.
Easy.
I'm really stuck and torn between Ellen or Wendy.
What's your hesitation for either?
I enjoyed both shows. My hesitation is, what came out about Ellen. The queen of mean.
Oh, yeah, we know.
Allegedly.
Yep. Allegedly. Please.
This is so hard. Wait, skim through the list one more time.
Okay.
But don't say Oprah because I already listed
Okay.
her. Okay.
Wendy, Dr. Phil, Ellen, Montel, Ricky Lake. I also have Tyra as an alternate.
I forgot about Tyra that quickly because I'm thinking if Dr. Phil's on the list, where's Mehmet Oz? Because he was
The Oz's, I don't know.
A politician.
But you know what I mean?
Okay,
Right. It was getting funny.
I'm going to go with Wendy only
Okay.
because Wendy does not have Queen of Mean accusations in the workplace.
She
I
sure
know a few
doesn't.
former Wendy interns and people who've worked in her glam, and Wendy is who she is. But I also know people who worked on that Warner Brothers lot for Ellen DeGeneres' show, and everybody got a story.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with
You
Wendy.
hate to see it.
Yeah.
Was-
Because I love Dory. I love Ellen.
love Dory. I forgot Ellen was Dory.
Yeah. I went back and watched some of Ellen's sitcom to see what all the hullabaloo was about.
I
'Cause remember-
forgot Ellen was on a sitcom before the
Yeah,
Ellen Show. That's how she got
yeah.
famous. Wow.
Because she was canceled for being a lesbian.
Oh, yeah.
And Oprah was her therapist in that episode.
Yeah.
And I forgot who was her love interest. The white woman from Jurassic Park. Her name's Laura Dern. Yeah. Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm not even really going to start talking about Big Little Lies because that shit is actually crazy. A fantastic show. It's coming back. Did you see that?
Is it?
Yes, they're bringing it
It
back for
doesn't
season
need-
3. I know they don't need it, but I need it.
They could snatch a few of those cast members and put them on the White Lotus.
Okay.
We don't need it back.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I didn't feel like they didn't need season 2. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we could talk. That's our post show.
We'll do post show. Okay, so you said Wendy and
Oprah.
And Oprah is who you keeping. Those
Yeah.
are really solid, good choices.
Yeah.
Very different
But
demographics,
consistent.
but consistent,
Yeah.
different subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
But they both did their thing for a very long time.
Oprah used to be a little.
I do remember Oprah used to be a
Okay,
little
come
bit
on
more.
now, come on.
Or allegedly. I don't know that I was watching Oprah at that time, but I am
I
aware
was.
that it was
I was watching Oprah when it was Caller, You're on the Air.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yes. Okay, A1 Day One. Oprah girly for real. We love to see it. Now, if I had to pick from the Titans,
Okay.
I'm choosing the alternate, Miss Tyra Banks. The Tyra Banks Show.
Truly.
The Tyra Banks Show
Queen of Chaos.
was so fucking chaotic.
Yes. Truly.
I couldn't look away. I was
Truly.
like, yeah, no, this is the one.
Let me ask you this really quickly before you go on.
Yeah.
Did you prefer Tyra when she was in LA or in New York?
Ooh, I don't know that I knew that there was.
She did a studio change. She did what Kelly Clarkson just recently did. But it was two different shows to me.
Really?
LA versus New York, yeah.
Do you feel like LA got way more chaotic?
I do think LA was a bit more chaotic, but New York dressed better. The audience dressed better.
that's just the case overall between the two locations.
Yes.
I'm going with Tyra, and I'm also probably gonna go with. Ooh, this is embarrassing. I'm probably gonna go with Dr. Phil also. If I'm just gonna watch two for forever, those are the two that I'm like most likely to cut on.
Dr. Phil is responsible for giving us Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Please don't bring that up. Please.
But you know what? My best friend, my childhood best friend, she went on to study psychology, but that was our divide. Like, she would be like, girl, Dr. Phil, I'm talking about when we were like 8th grade, and she'd be like, girl, Dr. Phil is coming on. Like,
I love it.
She didn't play.
She went on to study psychology.
Yes,
like, that
she
was
did.
really her shit.
She did.
I love it. I stand. Yeah. Dr. Phil is responsible for a lot of foolishness that has taken place in pop culture.
I listened to a 4-part podcast a while back, one of those investigative podcasts, and it totally changed how I view that man.
Oh, I might need the title of that one.
I was shooketh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I might need the title of that one. I like that a lot. Okay. So we have our favorites from the Titans now. The ensemble casts. We have the 3 of the large ensembles that were on simultaneously. The View, The Real, The Talk.
Yes.
If you had to choose one, you're choosing The View.
I am going with Barbara Walters, the OG. She set the format. The View is in season 27. I would like, that is my dream job.
Why do you know that?
I want to walk out and wave and take my rightful seat on that ABC talk show at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Me as well.
Now, here was my beef with the other 2 shows, because I watched them as well, but they were not appointment TV for me like The View is.
Noted.
So my issue with The Real was that I felt that they were, and I went to The Real a few times. I just felt that the show was a bit irresponsible. And the reason why I say that is there's this panel of women. They're all women of color. And instead of discussing cerebral things, y'all are talking about y'all favorite lip gloss from Fenty.
Fair.
So that got under my skin because there was so much happening in culture, in politics, in the world, and even the pop culture topics that they picked to discuss on that show were too safe and too fluffy.
I get that. Yeah.
So that's what pissed me off about The Real.
Totally.
And then The Talk, I do not like the newest iteration of The Talk. The Talk, what set them apart from The View is that they did not discuss politics. But my favorite version of The Talk was when Julie Chen, before she attached Moonves, before she was Julie Chen Moonves. But Julie Chen, Sarah Gilbert, Sharon Osbourne, who I can't stand Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah, sure.
But Sharon Osbourne, Aisha Tyler, and Cheryl Underwood. That was the best panel. And shout out to Holly Robinson Pete and Leah Remini, because those girls did them dirty. They did Holly and Leah so dirty.
What's the tea?
This was some snaky ousting that got them,
Oh, yeah. I do remember hearing about this a little bit. Yeah.
With Holly Robinson Pete and Leah Remini.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that Julie Chen was married to the president of the network.
Oh, my
That seems
God.
like a conflict of interest.
A little bit, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
But I used to check into The Talk every once in a while. Yeah.
I liked when Eve was on it as well. Eve.
Yes. I forgot about Eve's stint.
It was short.
Because after her, Elaine Welteroth joined it. Yeah. That's when it was really just.
Yeah. Things were definitely.
And Carrie Ann Inaba. They said, let's get another Capricorn Asian up in here since Julie's gone.
Let's get Carrie Ann. Marie Osmond.
And she doesn't like J-Lo. They have history because they both were Fly Girls on In Living Color. Oh yeah, you got to get into that Carrie Ann Nava, Jennifer Lopez story.
I'm definitely going to have to get into that. I also am not that big of a J-Lo fan.
Really?
So I'm not. No, I can't say that I am.
Do you mind me asking why? Is it the lip syncing or the stealing vocals?
It's not. It is. I have this visceral reaction to things that I feel are overhyped and underperforming for the hype that they are receiving. See Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I feel like J-Lo fits almost squarely in there. She's
a good performer.
She's a good performer.
She can
That's
dance.
The thing. My whole thing about J-Lo's performing though is my eye isn't drawn to Jennifer necessarily.
Okay.
When she's on stage, you know how like obviously this is the comparison. When you're watching a Beyonce on stage, I can't even see what the hell is going on around. I don't know what else is going on. I can only see Beyonce. I don't feel that way when I'm watching J-Lo. She kind of blends in with her background a little bit to me. But obviously she's hitting the moves. She's doing everything correctly.
And she's working with Beyonce's former music director.
Word.
I still haven't forgiven her for saying the N-word.
And we're also going to come into saying the N-word and stealing Ashanti's
and Christina Milian.
And Christina Milian's vocals. And then being offended when you say that she can't sing. Did you know that too?
I did not know she got offended.
She gets offended. I'm like, girl, that's not you.
It's not even you.
It's okay. You don't have to sing. It's Ashanti.
Yeah.
So what she say? I tell my niggas something, but they don't hear me though.
Mind they biz, but they don't hear me.
I tell my niggas my neighbors, but they don't hear me though. I'm like, I didn't love it.
Well, Ja Rule green light lit it.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Now that's another show.
We'll really go. We'll really talk about that another time. But okay, so you're going with The View.
Yes.
And for reasons that definitely make sense. Of course.
Yes. Best cast as well.
Best
cast,
all the shows. Most hard hitting. It feels like the one that has the most journalistic integrity.
Oh yeah. They're part of ABC News Division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Real felt like it was for a bit of a younger audience, a little bit more trendy.
I'd agree, but they still that's where they missed the mark.
That's what I'm saying. It's still
because
daytime.
You can. I don't want to say water down the topics, but if you're skilled enough as a host, you should be able to talk about what Mitch McConnell just did that's affecting everybody.
That's super real. That is super real.
That's all I'm saying.
I fully agree. Do you remember when Amanda Seales came on?
Yeah, and they wanted her gone because she was trying to talk the real stuff.
Because she was really having real things to say. Which I appreciate.
And Jocelyn. Mm-hmm. And the Muppet. They have some scenes from there. The whole Muppet scene and...
There were some moments. Yeah. The Real definitely gave us some moments. Adrienne Bailon talking about she doesn't wash her hands after she goes to the bathroom. That was a thing. The Muppet Tamar Braxton moment. Mm-hmm. Lonnie Love always laughing at something she didn't need to be laughing at. Yep. Tamara being the white man's whore. Yep. That was crazy.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things going on.
Jeannie Mai.
Jeannie.
I like Jeannie. I like Jeannie.
For the most part, yeah.
I've shared space with her. She's been cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know her, but on the
she seems fine.
High and by tip, she's a pretty cool lady.
Mm-hmm. And then the talk, I don't know. The talk seemed the most. What is the word I'm looking for? Not chaotic, but like the turnover rate just seemed real high for a show that hasn't been running as long as The View. Obviously, The View has had a few hosts because it's been on for forever.
27 seasons.
And like you said, 27 seasons. The talk on the other hand, I'm like, why is this list of hosts so much longer?
Well, and also what can't be taken away from this is the talk just inherently skewed older because it's on CBS. And CBS is like the nursing home channel. And like, it's no shade, but most of CBS's programming is geared towards a very, 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 very mature audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was different. They would have soap stars on, for example. The View and The Real never had a soap star on as the guest but the talk knew that, like, I imagine when I watched the talk, like The View might be on at the laundromat, but the talk is definitely and The Real is airing in the prisons. And the talk, I'm getting up. And the talk is airing at the nursing home.
Please, not at the prison, the laundromat, and the nursing home.
It's at the prisons because Wendy Williams used to air in the prisons, and most. You're
fucking joking.
I'm not kidding. Most affiliates had Wendy be first, and the talk after on the same because they were both Fox shows. So if they were watching Wendy in the jails,
they certainly.
Yeah, Wendy would shout out. She'd be like, "Shout out to all the incarcerated."
She did say that. You
Let's
sounded
get
like
into
her when you said that.
Yeah.
That definitely sounded like Wendy when you said that too.
She's fun as well.
Wow. I am learning so much. I thought that I watched, my fair share of daytime Okay,
I still
hold
do,
on.
because you said at the top of this show, you said that when you were a kid.
I did.
I
I mostly watched when I was a kid. Yes.
I'm still a daytime girl. I still have my roster for in the morning. I'm not joking. And they're all DVR'd and stacked up.
So you have cable.
Yeah, well, I use my mother's Xfinity login.
There we go.
And then I Chromecast it to my TV.
She's still a millennial.
And my mom is on Central Time, so everything airs earlier.
Oh, I love that.
She's in Chicago.
I actually really like that. Don't have to wait super long. As soon as I wake up, cut my stuff on. That sounds great. Now, for the smuts.
Okay.
I have 3 shows listed under the smuts.
Okay.
We have Jerry Springer,
yes,
Maury, and the Steve Wilkos Show.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that one?
Steve.
Yeah.
Well, and you didn't watch Mother Love.
No, what is Mother Love?
I promised that the show was titled Forgive or Forget or something like that. I would put that in the smut category.
Okay.
Because that was the premise of it.
Okay.
Where
what would you forgive or forget somebody for cheating?
Yeah, like it was friends, it was lovers.
Okay.
But I believe that was the premise of it. And then at the end they had to determine. It was almost like a talk show meets a courtroom show, but it's a talk show.
Okay.
Because both parties are presenting their case.
Oh my God, courtroom shows.
Yeah.
But yes.
And I put Montel in the smut.
You put Montel in the smut?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He had that. What's that woman named Susan Brown, the psychic with the raspy voice?
I don't remember
She was like a regular Sylvia Brown. That was her name.
I don't remember Sylvia
I'm
Brown
giving you
on
so
Montel.
much to look up when we're done.
I'm telling you.
She had a raspy voice, and she'd be like, "Yeah, you're definitely pregnant." Like she was a regular on the Montel show.
Not. The only thing. Oh, never mind.
You know that's Kamala's ex-boyfriend.
Kamala whom?
Our VP, Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah. I do remember that her and Montel were dating. Yes. Never mind. That's not. Okay. So we have the smut. We'll move Montel over to the smut category.
Yes.
If you could only watch one smut, did you watch the smut first?
Yes,
of all?
I did.
Did you enjoy the smut?
I did actually when I was younger. I watched The Ringmaster. Which was Jerry Springer's film. And Jerry Springer, I should also mention, was a Chicago-based show. So I knew people who went on Jerry Springer's show. This is before he moved to Connecticut, because he ended up moving to Connecticut and doing the show there in the later seasons. But when it was the raunchiest, it was a Chicago-based show. And I do know people who went on Jerry Springer's show, you know, got the limo pickup and were paid $500 allegedly and went on there and did, you know, adhere to certain storylines. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How scary.
Yeah.
Jerry was like really scary times.
That
was like very weird. The show was strange to me.
Yeah, but before they started doing the fake wrestling storylines, people were really having chairs thrown at them. Like before it became a choreograph.
Yeah,
like
so
that stuff
pick up
was
the chair,
really
maybe
happening.
throw. That's crazy. So all of it was real the whole time. Like they was really finding out.
At the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah. I'm sure it became an insurance issue.
I'm certain, right? It had to. There's no way that was not an insurance issue. If you only had to watch one, you watching Jerry?
So it's Jerry, Maury, or Steve?
Yeah.
I did not watch Steve. You know, Steve Wilkos is a show that airs at the Mechanic.
Okay.
Pet Boys.
So we have
Pet Boys is watching
Boys,
Steve Wilkos.
Laundromat, prison,
and nursing home.
Okay, Steve is for the Mechanic Boys.
And Jerry is also airing at the nursing home, but Steve is definitely for the Mechanic.
Okay.
When you go get an oil change,
definitely,
that's
what they're watching.
And then
how do you come up with it?
I don't know. I just picture this. Maury was definitely for the nursing home as well. I'm watching Jerry. I'm watching Jerry out of all 3 of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What are you watching?
Honestly, when I was a kid, I couldn't get these shits off my TV quick enough. Like you
weren't for the smut.
I did not like it.
That's a man, Maury. You weren't watching those shows. Oh my God,
I was not. Somebody had to tell me about that as an adult. Yeah. I was like, no, that was not happening on. That wasn't
Jerry's
happening on
like
Maury.
My sister's sleeping with my boyfriend. Yeah, I would watch. I was not glued to these things, and they were not appointment TV.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the name of the Campbell's chicken noodle soup, saltine, ginger ale, black
when
person
you're
pipeline.
Sick, 100%.
Just like we were watching Judge Mathis
100%.
and like all of Judge Judy.
100%.
All of that bled together.
Yes.
Because the smut shows were afternoon shows, like the court shows. Yeah.
I was also watching the soap operas during those times.
See, I wasn't a soap opera girl.
My mama was a soap opera girl, and so I would be home sick watching General Hospital, All My Children, or whatever in the summertime, and all of that stuff.
Were you a Passions girl?
No. My mom didn't watch Passions. Shar, thoughts on what makes a good daytime talk show host as someone who soon will be one?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I've studied this. You're catching me off guard with this, but in the name of me studying this, in my personal opinion, I'm going to say someone who's charismatic and relatable. And the reason why I say that is that this is on topic, but off topic. I oftentimes say, as far as like trans people are concerned, for example, if there was a trans person on Daytime, I think the conversation would be different because there'd be a relatability factor.
Mm-hmm.
If they're like, oh, my grandma's mac and cheese recipe is da-da-da-da-da. If you could see a trans person on Daytime giving opinions, laughing, talking about running to the Whole Foods after work, I think it humanizes.
Definitely. Definitely.
And also in the name of the LGBT, I think that's why Queen Latifah's talk show failed the second go round because the audience couldn't get all of her. Read between the lines with that, okay? You could tell there was a wall up with her. And I think that part of the relatability with hosts is a parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these people. I feel like I know Wendy Williams. I don't know Wendy Williams.
Definitely. We all feel like we know Wendy. People who haven't watched it feel like we know Wendy.
I feel like I know Oprah. Oprah has cried with me.
Definitely.
Oprah has done favorite things.
Yeah.
Which also, I have an Oprah story I'll tell you later.
I mean, you can tell it now
You
if you
want me to
want.
tell it now?
Yeah.
It's very brief.
Okay, go for it. Don't
But
have to
I
be.
want to make sure I stick to your outline.
No, you're good. Please. The
But
outline
yeah,
is a suggestion.
those were my 2 points. But Oprah, really, really quickly. So during Oprah's final season, season 25, I wrote the show and I just on a fly saying, my birthday had just passed, which is January 2nd.
Okay, come on, Capricorn.
And oh yes, you better know.
Okay.
You better know. And so I was like, I really want tickets. Like I wrote them like a little essay type thing. And then sure enough, like a week later, they offered me tickets, 4 tickets.
Oh, she must be a writer for
and
real.
And so I just had the most groundbreaking experience. They ended up, Harpo Studios does not exist anymore, which I'm kind of upset about. I feel like Oprah could have invested and turned it into a museum.
Definitely.
It was such a beautiful building. The campus looked like a middle school. It was huge. It was huge. She had buildings. Across the street was the Oprah store. And then across the street, corner, that was Oprah Radio.
Not Oprah Land.
Oh,
now she had Oprah Land.
In the West Loop, in the warehouse district. So this is actually one of my favorite stories because it felt like I was in alignment. Like I said, I'm keeping it brief. So I go to the Oprah show. You have to be there so damn early. You get there, you're in line, and I remember touring the campus. And once you enter the studio, it was like, like this cream colored, just everything's just so earth toned and just big. And so I was in the audience and where I sat was where I sat was where she comes out.
Okay.
Because there's a few points I want to hit. So basically, in a nutshell, her audience warm up, asked who wanted to warm up the audience. My hand shot up. Not only did I get to warm up the audience, so I went on stage and Oprah's warm up song was Usher's Oh, 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 oh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I got to sit in Oprah's chair. Oh yes, the coveted interview chair. And then when Oprah came out, she shook my hand. She told me she liked my hair and my lashes. Like she was like, oh, like you could hear her. Like imagine the anxiety of sitting in a chair and you can hear Oprah within an earshot. And she's talking like, oh, and yeah. And then she hit that corner. So we did the show. And then afterwards, a producer came up to me and because I had my roommate and my mom and my aunt. A producer came up to me and was like, you all's energy, yada, yada, yada. Do you want to do an interview with Oprah Radio?
What?
So we go across the street. This is Oprah Day. So we go across the street and we're on some show and they're asking the experience. We did some promo, like they're asking the experience. And so on the way out, there was like one hallway, but you had to pass by Harpo Cafeteria on the way out. So on our way out, suddenly a security guy, we're being escorted out and a security guy tells us to stop where we are. Just wait right here for one quick second. Yada, yada. Oh. So then I hear Oprah speaking again. Okay. So now Oprah's in Oprah Radio building.
Okay.
And so there's this
you
camera.
Hear her
yes.
Like in earshot.
Yes.
Not like in a headphone or something.
She's within earshot.
Okay.
There's a camera guy. His back is walking towards us. And Oprah's on the other side. She was filming a segment where all of Harpo's staff went vegan for a week. Oh. This show is still on YouTube, but I was in the cafeteria when she was filming that segment, and she stopped and she turned to me and she said, "You're still here?" Because mind you, this is like an hour after the taping.
So funny.
I didn't ask for a hug or anything because she did. Oprah don't do all of that. But that's my very condensed Oprah story with just like, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm built for this.
I'm about to say you have
I feel like I have Oprah's blessing.
You have Oprah's blessing. You have Whoopi's blessing. You have such
yes,
good
and
daytime
Wendy. I met Wendy in Chicago. It was a good old time.
Okay.
How I'm doing? She was great. Wendy was just as you imagine her to be. She was great.
I feel like Wendy's one of those people that like brings her whole self to work. And I love that.
Her stare is intimidating. The big eyes.
I believe it.
And she's very invasive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she'll ask.
Oh, yeah. That's why she was getting cussed out on the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are my talk show stories. I'm done.
No, those are great stories. I'm happy to have them. Thank you so much for sharing. So, okay, that's a good way to put what makes a good host. You said
they have to be
charisma
and relatable. You have the viewer has to feel like they have some sort of parasocial relationship with you.
That makes sense.
So sharing grandma's oatmeal cookie recipe, and talking about what made you cry, or even that is what I believe, because that's what draws me in. That's what keeps me coming back.
Yeah,
is the feeling that I know you. I don't know you. I can't text you, but I feel like I know you. And I believe my personal philosophy is that's why Queen Latifah's show did not do the best when she rebooted it.
Yeah.
And I think that if a trans person, if more LGBT people as a whole were in that daytime space and even prime time, shout out to all the men
late
in prime time. Yeah. Or even I know trans people who love sports. If people were MSNBC correspondents and on CNN, I do believe that the conversation in this country would change.
Definitely.
Because right now, a lot of trans people live in theory to people. So it's easy to plant a seed of fear and ride on that. So that's that on that.
Live in theory to people... But they don't even realize they likely know trans people.
Oh, did you know that there's a statistic, and I can only say this because I talked to someone at GLAAD about this. There's a statistic, more people believe that they have met a ghost.
Stop it.
My God. Than met a trans person.
I want out of this fucking country.
A ghost.
I want off the planet, out the country. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, please.
Yeah. That's where we are. And that's why it's so easy to dehumanize and to create narratives and demonize a group of people, because most people do not believe that they're in community. But in fairness, a lot of people, if you live in Dubuque, Iowa, you might not be able to pin a flag to your shirt.
Iowa.
You might just got to ring out them people's grocery and go home. And not, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. It's survival.
And yeah.
I know that was all over the place, but I hope that answers your question about what makes a good host.
That definitely does answer the question. That's a really good point about Queen Latifah, too. And we're back. And that brings me to, I would love to talk about slept on or one season wonder type daytime talk show. Do you feel like Queen Latifah is kind of within that category?
She had great guests, and she's not a bad interviewer.
Right.
And Lenny Kravitz designed her set. It was called Big Sexy. Her set was called Big Sexy, and Lenny Kravitz designed it.
Okay.
It was full of golds and bronzes. I also think that the set depends. That we didn't talk about that.
The set does mean a lot. That is a really good point.
Because when Ricky did her reboot, and it was all in blues and whites, and
no blues and whites. That's not good.
It was just like Meredith Vieira. I think that she was the first moderator on The View, the OG moderator. She had a show on NBC. But you were asking me about fallen heroes or shows that I believe that there's not one talk show that I enjoyed that was canceled.
Really? Okay.
I tried to watch Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner had a talk show?
Oh, yeah. She had a 6-week sneak peek. That's where North's picture was revealed.
I thought that was Chloe.
No, Chloe had cocktails with Chloe.
I remember Chloe having cocktails with Chloe.
There was the Kris Jenner show.
Okay. And yeah. And okay, that's where North was revealed. Is that where Kanye came on the first time and he had like that weird, he sounded weird suddenly and we were scared?
Had a Tristan accent.
Yes, the Tristan accent. And we were terrified. That was on Chris's show?
Yes, they do these things called 6-week sneak peeks, which I'm sure you're familiar with, where they give a talk show 6 weeks. They test it in different markets, and then you either get dropped or picked up.
Oh, and all them shits was dropped. The Kardashians don't do well for a talk show, child.
They don't.
Okay. What about the Monique show? I feel like that one had a few seasons. It was on BET, right?
Yes, that is. In the name of late night, the Monique show is such a gift. That's how I was introduced to K. Michelle. I love K. Michelle's music.
Wow.
I was introduced to K. Michelle through Monique.
Did Monique show come on?
Yeah, it was prime time.
Oh. Okay,
It was
come
not
on, Monique.
daytime. It was a primetime show
Okay.
because her set was like a club. And when the guests would come, the elevator doors were open and you were at a nightclub. And Monique's a great interviewer, and I felt that show did so much for Black people. I remember Love B. Scott was on that show. Like, as far as just offering exposure, and then she's naturally funny. I do believe you have to have you have to have a funny bone to be a host.
Definitely.
You have to be able to laugh at yourself. But
Yeah.
yes, Monique should have stuck around.
Yeah. Yeah, sad to see Monique go for sure. Do you remember Keke Palmer's talk show on BET?
I do.
Yeah.
That was not for, I thought that was something for the kids.
She was a child.
Yeah.
She was really young at the time.
Because I was 26 when that premiered. I still remember.
I think she was like 8. She was really young. She was like 18 or something.
That was something for the kids. So that one.
And I fell within the age demographic, so I tried to cut it on. And I remember being like, I don't like what she's talking about on here.
Yeah.
She was saying stuff that was a little funny to me. Which, I mean, at 18, of course, everybody's saying dumb shit.
And then the audience, weren't they sitting like in beanbag chairs? It was very Teen Summit.
I don't know.
Like BET Teen Summit meets talk show. But
sounds crazy.
Keke's charismatic enough to carry a show. But
Definitely.
I do believe that Keke would be served best in a panel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I would
Just
I
like
would
Jennifer
much prefer.
Hudson.
That is a... Now we getting into
Okay,
today's talk shows.
Sorry, I'm going to shut up.
No, please. You're doing great segues. I love this. Now, thoughts on today's hosts. We have Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson, Drew Barrymore, and Tamron Hall.
You're forgetting Shari Shepherd.
And Sherry Shepherd.
In the name of journalism and being a traditional linear journalist, I love Tamron Hall's show. I do believe that it is not Oprah-like, but it's filling that Oprah void where she talks about everyday things. Like, I'm not a parent, but I just watched her show on gentle parenting because she made it interesting and the guests were. Yeah. I've also been to her show a few times. And big shows like Michelle Obama promoting her book, Mary J. Blige. So I like Tamron. Are you asking me who I like or who needs to go?
I mean, you can tell me either. Yeah, tell me both.
I've only seen a few episodes of Kelly Clarkson's show, and I enjoy Kelly's. She replaced the Ellen slot. Jennifer Hudson is in Ellen's old studio. Jennifer is not the best host. Even her promos are lackluster.
I agree.
I tried watching her show. It is not for me. Even when the guests are great, it just still... And I see how they try to remix. Like, you can tell, if you work in this industry, you can tell how they try to remix image and stuff. Like, they gave her a little bob, a little curly, and some reading glasses. They're trying to appeal, Yeah. But Jennifer, I think, would do better in a panel show.
Yeah. I feel that.
Who else? Sherry and
Drew Barrymore.
I've only seen a few
Hot
episodes of. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to And Just Like That and Drew's cameo. I've only seen a few episodes of Drew Barrymore's show, and I love the running joke about how she's like this as close as I am to this mic. That's how close she gets to her guests.
Wild, terrifying. I would not go on just for that. If my team called me, it's like, "Are you going on Drew Barrymore?"
I imagine that certain people have to have those parameters.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can't be that close. You can't be up on me like that.
Drew's show, I've only seen segments. I'm not going to even lie to you. So just like Karamo replaced Maury.
Oh, whoa. I forgot Karamo has a TV show.
I've only seen chunks. I've never seen a full episode.
Yeah.
So I can't, Drew.
Karamo seemed like he'd be fun.
Drew is, who else? So Sherry Shepherd. My only issue with the Sherry Shepherd show, aside from me just being a total Wendy-nista, and mind you, Sherry didn't have nothing to do with that, but in the name of holding it down, I'm like, I watched Sherry's show. My only issue with Sherry's show is I can tell who she's appealing to, which is a very churchy, middle-aged, like she'll have segments on there with people, really, it'd be real churchy.
Definitely.
I also, I do not like Sherry. Okay. Sherry has this interview voice that I hate.
Okay.
I should also mention, fun fact, Sherry Shepherd slid in my DMs over a decade ago to curse me out. Oh, yes.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. We get some good stories out of Shar.
Because I publicly tweeted. I felt she was being ridiculous. The View had a topic about Sacha Baron Cohen. I think it was Borat. And they were talking about full frontal male nudity.
Okay.
And Sherry just went on this. I know she was raised Jehovah's Witness, but my God, she went on this full tirade of just da-da-da-da-da. And I tweeted publicly like, girl, grow up.
She went on tirade about how what?
Like how
genitals are nasty?
Basically.
Okay.
And it's like, if we've we've been seeing, breasts and vaginas.
Sure have.
What's wrong with seeing a little and it's not like it's explicit. It's a flaccid penis. It's a joke, But nevertheless, she ended up DMing me. That was her response. She DM'd me and on some first of all type stuff. She was the type that used to search her name.
Oh,
I love you, Cher. I love you, Cher. I don't know her, but I love you, Cher.
Are you blocked?
No, I'm not blocked.
Shocked.
She just wrote me. I didn't respond because I'm like, girl, I ain't about to go back. I said what
I
said.
said what I said, but I'm not going back and forth with you.
But so she has this interview voice that really gets under my skin. So I like when she's like doing her comedy and shout out to Miss Tina. And then her serious voice just makes me, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah.
It's like she'll be like, shout out to Miss Tina, da 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 da. And Keke Palmer. Yeah. Keke recently, her ex-boyfriend. So if you are in a DV situation, we extend, it's something about the inflection, which is natural because when you're doing more serious topics, you lower your register a bit.
Yeah, sure.
But it's something about hers that gets under my skin. But I do enjoy her show. It's formatted just like Wendy's. She comes out and instead of saying, how you doing? She says, hey, family. She sits in her Hot Topics chair. Instead of Norman there's John Murray, her like it's formatted the exact same way. And her Hot Topics are more so like what's trending. Look at this funny TikTok video. So, but I enjoy her interviews. Sherry's a good interviewer, but she has practice. She spent 7 or 8 seasons on The View.
Okay.
So she has practice.
It totally makes sense. So if one of them had to go, which one are you getting rid of?
Read the names again.
Okay. We have Kelly Clarkson, who, shout out, because we have an episode, Black People Love Kelly Clarkson, because Black people do, in fact, love Kelly Clarkson.
They call all of the anointed white singers the Clarkson sisters. Because of her. Yeah, that's what Twitter's doing.
That's
like
so
Tori
funny. Like
Kelly,
the Clark sisters for us.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But go ahead. Shout out.
Okay.
Shantae, you stay for Kelly.
Okay. Kelly's okay. The Jennifer Hudson Show. Let me get through the list because I feel like that one might be on the chopping block.
Okay.
The Drew Barrymore Show, Tamron Hall, and Sherry Show.
And I am telling you,
I'm not going.
I'm sorry, baby. You gotta go. Effie, we all got pain.
I understand.
Jennifer. Mm-hmm. Jennifer has to go. Okay. I love Jennifer Hudson. Shout out to Chicago. And also Sherry Shepherd's from Chicago. Shout out to my Chi-Town girls.
Shout out. My mama.
Love Jennifer Hudson. But talk show, acting and singing, yes. Holding it down for an hour, no.
It's going to be a no.
Yeah,
it's going to be a no.
It's going to be a no.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's super fair. That's super fair. Now, someone who does not have a show right now, but you feel may need one. This might be a hard question because I didn't give you time to think about this at all.
Catching me off guard.
I didn't give you any time to think about this. I do have a list of 2.
Okay,
one of which we've already discussed.
Keke.
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that.
I feel like Rihanna would be really good.
No.
For a talk show. The immediate no.
Shout out to all of the gender appropriations out there.
Would you attack?
If you know, you know.
Oh wow, she did say that. Oh,
and
she
her
did say that.
This is great for men and women and
all the
they them gender appropriate.
She
no,
did.
I don't think Rihanna would be good. What is she going to talk about?
Well, do you remember when she did that segment with what was one? It was one of the late night hosts, and she did the
probably Fallon.
It wasn't. Probably, I don't.
Was
think
it James
Fallon.
Corden?
No. It was.
Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Kimmel.
It's not even one of the late night. I don't even know who that nigga was. I can't remember his name. Anyways, a white man, Seth something.
Oh, Seth.
Yes.
Seth. Is it Seth Meyers?
Yes, that sounds right.
Yeah,
that sounds right. When she did that segment, do you remember that?
No. In fairness, I don't watch a lot of late night, and when I do, it's Kimmel. Out of all of them, Jimmy Kimmel is my favorite.
Okay, but she was like so charismatic. And it was like one of the few times where I've seen her like really light up. And I'm like, oh, she really might be good with this. As long as
Are you saying a solo show for her or an ensemble?
I would take Riri as a solo.
Wow.
I would take her
That
as
is where, folks, that's where we disagree.
As long as she feels like she can say what she would like to say.
And see, that's what makes me scratch my head because just viewing, I don't know where her personal politic is based on who she procreated with.
Now, we really talking now.
She at the Chappelle show.
Well.
The Fenty stuff happened with there's been a lot of Fenty and Savage X Fenty news to come out. So it's like, I don't know if I want her unfiltered because I like Rihanna and I don't want to not like Rihanna.
It really will fuck up. Yeah, because
she talking too much.
She do be chatting.
So who is someone who does not have a talk show who I think would be great as a talk show host?
Shar Jossell. Naturally.
You beat me to it.
Naturally.
Like, I was going to say me first.
Uh-huh.
Y'all need to go ahead and green like that because I got some shit to say.
Stop playing.
Okay, and I'm hands-on. I'm EP as well.
A journalist.
Award-winning.
Award-winning.
I worked hard for that.
Okay.
So I would say myself, okay, I'm going to sip from my own Kool-Aid. I think Kiki would be great, but she's already had one. So who else? You know, I think Tasha Smith would be great.
Tasha
Marcus
Smith.
From the Tyler Perry movies. Google her.
Tasha right quick. Let me see.
Tasha Smith,
because the name is mad familiar.
I think Tasha Smith would be great.
Oh, certainly the twin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I could definitely see her as a host.
I think Tasha
certainly
would be a great.
Oh my God,
host.
what if it's her and her sister?
Sidra.
Yeah,
I love Sidra. I know Sidra.
Super fun.
Yeah. So
that's a good one.
Tasha Smith, and then let me think who else, because I'm trying to think of actors, singers, athletes, people who kind of stay in the conversation and who have a sense of humor to them. Mm-hmm. Or even comedians.
Do you feel like Oprah has a sense of humor?
I do think Oprah has a sense of humor. Okay. She's shown it on the show. All right. It's a very specific sense of humor, but she has a sense of humor. All right. Oprah's not a stick in the mud.
I don't think she's a stick in the mud.
I think I've seen every aspect of Oprah through the TV.
Okay.
I've seen her pissed. Shout out to that James Fry interview when he lied about his book and she confronted. And I've seen her in a redemptive state with Iyanla making up. I've seen her.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've seen every aspect of Oprah's personality. But nevertheless, I think Tasha Smith is who's first that comes to mind. And in all honesty, I can't think of not one damn
That's
man.
fair. That's good enough.
I would watch a Drewski show in the name of internet
I would
comedians.
happily cut on.
I would watch a Drewski show. Could have been records, standing on business.
Absolutely.
I love him. I love him.
You need to EP it.
I love him. But there's not a lot of men I want to hear speak.
At all.
No.
Period. Actually, hard stop. We can.
I'm going to say that's the name that just keeps coming up for me is, aside from me, you had two and I have two.
Yeah,
Shar Jossell and Tasha Smith.
That's beautiful.
I'd sit on a panel with Tasha.
Yes. I could absolutely see that.
I'm all for a panel show.
Same. I would like to be on a panel show. That would be fun.
I love different perspectives.
I would have a good time
and
with
sparring.
That. Me too. I love us. Shar, do you know your big three by chance?
Of course. I live in LA. Are you kidding me?
Please tell me.
I have to know my big three.
I'm ready. I'm so prepared.
I can't break the ice without it.
Capricorn sun.
I am double earth water for my big three. So I am Virgo rising, Capricorn sun, Cancer moon.
Okay.
And I said Cancer like that because Capricorn and Cancer, I've come to learn, are opposites on the spectrum.
They're sister signs, but which
they're
means
sisters.
The second callback, yes. And they were sisters.
Yes. And so I'm double earth water. I feel like that the Cancer is what makes me just wear my heart on my sleeve and be a big old crybaby sometimes.
I love that.
But yeah, what's your big three?
That is a really good big three. Yours is very compatible with mine.
Okay.
I'm a Gemini sun.
Okay.
A Capricorn.
My best friend is a Gemini. Are you May or June?
June.
Okay, he's May.
A Capricorn rising and a Virgo moon.
Oh my gosh.
And a Cancer Venus. So
I'm Aquarius Venus.
Okay, there's some compatibility.
We're very close.
Yeah, there's a lot of compatibility there.
Wow. Okay.
I could sense it. I knew it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to see you on a talk show. I would love to see you.
It needs to hurry up.
Good.
It needs. Well, tell these execs to stop telling me they don't know what to do with me.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
They never go into detail. Take a risk.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm about to get fired
with this. Okay. I'm gonna end with this. Now, how do I say this without potentially shooting myself in the foot for future opportunities? Execs really should do better at taking risks on people who don't have 1 million followers.
Yes.
How are you supposed to scout talent if you can't scout talent?
Well, because nowadays, I'll say this briefly. Nowadays, they want you to come with your own audience, for one.
That's so dumb.
And my argument, I do not have tens of thousands followers, but guess what? Tamron Hall and Anna Navarro follow me. That should be worth. I got tons of.
Think about who
of solidified blue checks who have endorsed Shar. So even though I only got 9,000 something followers, the list, the quality there, I don't have any bots. The list there, it's all organic.
They're not bought either. No bots, no bots.
No.
Okay.
Sunny Hostin has publicly endorsed me. Please be serious.
I like Sunny.
So Yeah, I agree with you on that, but I do think, yeah, the status quo is status quoing.
I'm exhausted.
It happens with music too, because there's no artist development. People talk about that. They want you to come with your own audience, and they're gonna stick you on that Super Bowl stage.
And that's why we're only getting meme music nowadays. I was just talking about this. That's why we're only getting viral music, little snippets where people don't know the whole song because all we're worried about is what's going viral on TikTok.
And no vocalists, because people ain't in church no more.
No vocalists. I mean, Tyler can't sing, TBH. I know you don't like that Water song, but Tyler.
No, I've heard her other music. That's why I said it's not an indictment on her. It's that damn Sunshine Band Second Sunday youth service.
It's that
ass song.
That's super fair. Okay, last question. Why do you think Black people in particular love daytime talk shows?
The same reason white people do.
Okay, come on.
I think, again, that there's that relatability. And I know for me, as someone who still has, that's why Sherry's in my lineup. My lineup is literally Good Morning America. The View takes precedence over everybody. And then I watch Sherry and Tamron. I have to wait for Tamron, though, because she airs at 1 p.m., which means I have to wait till noon because it's recording from 11 to noon over here. So, but I think that it is relatability, and because talk shows are topical and they're a way of bringing people together in an entertaining and informative way that is not so skewed by some of the echo chambers that we're in sometimes with social media.
Yeah.
And so it brings different perspectives. And I think that's why Black people in particular enjoy talk shows. And there is something to be said that about how Black people have dominated daytime TV
There's
talk.
that, for real.
There's something to be, I don't know if that veers into the whole mammy trope. And people love a magical Negro.
Ooh, we really getting somewhere now. We really getting somewhere now. We really talking.
I don't know, but people love, like, when you look at the landscape today, it is overwhelmingly Black women that are hosts.
Definitely.
With the peppering of white women in daytime talk. And I find that to be very interesting. Even The View has Whoopi and Sunny on there.
Yeah.
2 Black women, even though Sunny's Afro-Latina. 2 Black women on that panel, which was something that was unheard of. Linear in a linear sense when The View was formed. It was just Star Jones, then it was just then it was just Sherry Shepherd, then it was so I think even with Sunny it was just Rosie when Rosie was the moderator. So I say that to say there is something to be said with in the name of relatability with Black women. And I'd even factor in Joyanne Reid, even though that's a news show. She airs at 4 p.m. our time. And, it's topical. It's not World News Tonight with David Muir airing at 6 or 7 p.m. There's something to be said. She's still in the afternoon and, dominating the news cycle. So,
That's a really good point. That's a very succinct way to sum that up. I ask about Black people in particular just because I feel like Black people are represented a little bit harshly on like the Jerry Maury side of things.
Yeah.
Queer people as well. So... And I know a lot of Black folks do engage with these television shows. So I'm wondering, what is the draw as we navigate?
I think the draw...
Our visibility.
I think the draw for people who once navigated to those shows is the same reason, is the same draw that draws our generation to the Shade Room.
Period.
There's an audience for everything. And people... the same people who, and this is no shade to anyone who does, because I'm not coming from sitting on my stoop looking down, but the same people who are on Bigo Live arguing and who have Zeus subscriptions.
I was about to go with Zeus.
And who have, there is an audience for everything. And unfortunately, we are in my personal opinion, we're in an age of anti-intellectualism. They ain't teaching these kids how to read. 7th graders don't know how to do book reports. No one, and it's profitable. It's beneficial to keep people in echo chambers and to keep them banking on seeing a graphic with a watermark and just lettering when people can't. The media literacy rate for the United States is at a 2nd grade level. I forgot where that statistic came from, so don't quote me. But I did read it. I don't make up things. It's at a 2nd grade level. And that is, I say that what drew people to make something like Jerry Springer appointment TV or to make Jerry their favorite is the same people the same gene pool was passed down to have people getting their news from blogs instead of following an NBC News or an ABC News, or even, I'd even say Fox News. They're not real news, but if you're going to follow the Shade Room, you might as well follow Fox.
Hey.
They cut from the same cloth.
Hey.
So
we're really getting into it now.
I do think it's the same type of people.
That is super fair. And let me, just so y'all don't think I'm up on a high horse or nothing now.
Because I'm not. Don't drag me. Because
right.
I'm not.
We're not.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
You know, briefly, I have since canceled, but I briefly had a little Zeus subscription. Okay. I was trying to see what was going on with the new iteration of Bad Girls Club, because I definitely watched that shit.
So you were watching Baddies East and stuff?
I tried. It was just really badly produced, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, the mics weren't working.
That I just couldn't get. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? So, and everybody was just too damn old. Like, I'm like, okay. Natalie, this was more fun when you were 21, and now I'm less. Oh, she's one of you.
I hate that for me.
I hate that for you.
But everybody has their blemishes.
I was about to say, I have a lot of bad Geminis on my
Oh, yes, you do.
So,
in the name of Trump and Kanye.
I share a birthday with one of those people. I won't say which, but yeah. Well, that's it. I think that was really good. Thank you so much for joining, Shar.
Thank you for anytime you want me back. Have me back. This was great.
Okay,
I hope that everybody enjoyed my talk show, because I've never told those stories, some of those publicly. So.
Oh my gosh, we're getting exclusive.
Oh yes.
I love an exclusive. Now, don't be talking about whenever, because I'll be in your inbox talking about, hey Shar,
I'm making my podcast rounds.
Okay, great.
Podcast rounds.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming on. It was great having you. Please let the folks know where they can find you on the internet or any projects you have coming up.
So I am working on some things that I can't talk about.
Okay.
Sorry, you all know how it goes. But you can find me everywhere at Shar Says So. That's Shar with an S, not a C, and that's says so, not Shar Say So. And you can find me, because some people would be like, I can't find you. It's Shar Says So. That means there's a double S in there.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where you can find me across. That's literally everywhere for me. So, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And per usual, you can find me at BPLP Pod across all social media platforms. You can email me at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com with hate mail, love, topic recommendations, anything of that sort. And that's it. Bye, y'all.